I've been playing drums my entire life, and during that time, I've noticed that if you want to develop your chops and your drum fills, there's 3 aspects of your playing that you must focus on. Those 3 aspects are hand and foot coordination, articulation, and independence. So in this video, I'm getting ready to show you one amazing exercise that will shockingly help you get better at all 3 at the same exact time. So let's jump right in, because I'm gonna show you how to change your plan forever. All right, y'all, welcome back to the School of Chops YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Zyck. I'm a full-time professional traveling musician. And as I said earlier, I'm getting ready to break down this amazing exercise for you today. Make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to throw in some creativity tricks that'll bring everything all together for you, all right? And by the way, if you need help breaking down difficult concepts and patterns just like this one and want help making them easier to understand, then hit the link in the description to find out how you can work with me one-on-one. Now, let's get to the exercises.
All right, y'all. So before we jump into playing the actual exercise, let me break down and explain a couple things to y'all, okay? Number one, the first thing you need to know in order to play this life-changing exercise is what we call a 3-2 rumba clave, and I'm going to explain to you how that goes right now. All right? It's nice and groovy. It feels nice, so you shouldn't have a hard time learning it. Ready? This is one part of the exercise that you got to know. So look, this is how that goes. Ah, 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 right? So that's our timing there. I mean, you should know this. If you don't know it, you should look up some of the different claves because there's a bunch of them. You got the son clave, you got the 2-3, you got the 3-2, but this is the 3-2 rumba clave, okay? Feel it like a groove. The E, school, B, the E, right? E, the ski, ba, done. All right, we got that. The other thing that I'm about to explain is we are going to be moving down an accent on each partial of the 16th note. All right, meaning we have one E and a. So that would just be and a. I know you got that. That's very simple. One E and a. But what we're going to do is we're going to isolate every partial of the one E and a. So we're going to isolate the one. We're going to isolate the E. We're going to isolate the and we're going to isolate the Very simple, right? It's not hard. So that's going to sound like this. One E and a, 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 one E and, one E and, one E and, one E and, one E and one E and one E and one E and The good thing for you is we're only going to do the accents. So it's going to be this. This is our time, right? It's going to be this. All right, this is easy. It's not hard. I promise. Just follow me. I got to break down certain things for you so you can understand it. Stick with me, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take that 3-2 rumba clave that I taught you. Ski, bomb, diggy, We're going to take that and we're going to play the partial underneath it in the opposite hand. So one hand is going to be going, and the other hand is going to be going, right? So this is how the exercise goes. Check this out. Now we're going to switch hands. Do it again. I messed up the end a little bit, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? So that is how it goes. Now, you're probably thinking, bro, how the heck is this going to help me with my chops? Just hold up. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. But first, let me explain a couple things about this exercise. Number one, this exercise is really, really, really good for independence, okay? And if you learn it, I promise you, you're going to start feeling a little bit more capable and a little bit more able to just kind of play what's on your mind and play what you feel. If you are struggling with playing this exercise, let me give you some quick tips on how to do it with just your hands, okay? First thing I like to do is I like to pay attention to when the hands are hitting together, okay? Meaning, when do my hands play a note at the same time? This is a super hack. Anytime you're learning something very syncopated or you're trying to learn something that is a little bit wacky and it feels a little bit off and it's requiring you to play different things independently, one big hack that I always lean on is finding out when the hands play together. For me, it just works. It helps me understand. It's like a checkpoint. Okay, I know my hands are playing together there, so I don't have to worry about that. They're hitting together. So I'm going to play the first set for you. The 3-2 Roomba over the first accent, the 1 E and a 1 E and a 1 E and. Okay, watch this. What do you notice about that one? You don't hit together at all. But that's a good thing because you understand that and you know that now. Watch. That's the third one, I believe. All right, you see that? So for that one, you know that it hits before you do the 2 notes in your opposite hand. Right, so we got the first one. It hits on 2. We got the second one, it hits together on none. And we got the third one, it hits together on 1. That's the one that feels like kind of like a groove. Ah, E. Ah, E. So that's another thing that this really helps you with. It helps you with being able to hear and understand what you're playing. A lot of y'all are really struggling when it comes to playing chops, and you're struggling when it comes to playing drum fills or even grooves because you don't feel it, right? Let alone hear it and understand what's going on. So whenever I come to that third partial, I think of it as like a church break or a praise break. E, ah, E, ah. Like it's got that backbeat feel to it. Familiarize yourself with what you're hearing. That's going to help you do things on the fly and play things on the fly. Let's check out the last one. That's the one that, I had the most trouble with when I had to learn this. So the last one goes like this. Right, so that hits together twice, back to back. So now that was just a breakdown of how to actually learn how to do this with your hands. Now I'm going to show y'all how this actually applies to you getting better on the kit and actually getting a good feel of how to play chops and drum fills and just be more comfortable behind the kit. When you play difficult stuff like this, it makes you more comfortable with the simple things. You are never, I promise you, you're never going to run into having to do this on a gig. I promise you, ever. But that's the beauty of it. When you immerse yourself in playing difficult things and things that force you to think, the easy things just come so naturally. So that's why it's really, really good to learn stuff like this, because it's going to put you in a position to where you're not going to receive anything harder than this. And it's a good confidence boost. It's like, yo, if I can do that clave thing that Zyck showed me on YouTube, I know I can sit down and play a gig and do some killing drum fills and take a great solo, okay? So I showed you what it means to play this with your hands and figure it out with your hands. You got to figure it out with your hands first. But once you get it locked in with your hands, now let's talk about how we can lock it in and actually use it to be more creative and to feel more comfortable behind the kit. So now that we got the exercise down in our hands, we can't just only play it in our hands and that's it, because we play the drum kit, and the drum kit requires us to use all of our limbs. So this is where I'm challenging you to get creative. I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can practice this on the kit, but I don't want you to stop there. Y'all know how I teach at the School of Chops. I want you to think for yourself and to push yourself. I don't want you to just take the chops that I play and only play them the way I play them. I don't want you to take the exercises I play and only play them the way I play them. Whenever you find a different way to do this on your kit and it's very, very hard, then you have found the right one. So the first one I'm going to give you is going to be a pretty simple one. It's going to be the kick drum and the hi-hat and the snare, right? Your hands are going to be playing the rhythms on the hi-hat and the snare, and your kick drum is going to be playing the other rhythm. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you to show you how it's going to sound. Check this out. Then, of course, we got to switch it. I messed up the ending part, but y'all get what I'm saying. That's one variation where you can play it. This is a very, very good way to work on your articulation, right? Not having to play notes over each other. And when you do play notes over each other, you're doing it on purpose. It's also going to help with your hand and foot coordination because, you know, you have to be very, very, very intentional about where you're placing the kick and where you're placing the hand pattern because it won't sound right if you're not doing that right. And of course, I don't even have to explain why it helps your independence, but that's the first way you can do it. I always recommend if you learn it one way, you have to fight and challenge yourself to also learn it the other way as well. Now, I'm going to get ready to show y'all the second way that you can apply this to the kit. All right, so the second way that we can do it is by keeping one hand on the snare to play the pattern and then letting the other hand move around. This is going to help us with like playing syncopated rhythms or independence exercises while also moving around the drums. So let's try it out. Of course, then we're going to switch it, right? Now, don't think that you have to only do the outer. Just because I did the outer hand doesn't mean you have to do that. Get creative. Again, push yourself. Maybe try it like this. So on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? Switch it up. Really, really, really push yourself. I promise you, y'all, when you practice this, you are going to find a way that is hard to do it. I promise you, you're going to run into a way that is hard. You're going to be like, damn, that was hard to do. Like, yo, I got to try it again. But like I said, when you run into the way that is very hard to do it, that means your body is incapable of playing it a certain way, and you need to learn that way to push yourself and make yourself better, if that makes sense. So this is a great one for mobility, moving around the drums, and just kind of working on being able to focus on what you're doing while moving and while listening, right? I kept a certain rhythm going on, and I did not change that rhythm. I kept that rhythm going on purpose because I'm listening and I know that I'm playing it correctly if I'm hearing that rhythm right. And that's one thing you got to train yourself. A lot of y'all will get on stage and be playing chops and drum fills, but you're not even listening to what you're playing. You didn't even know, you didn't even think about how it was going to sound, right? You're just going for it. So this is really going to help you develop that ear to listen like, oh, that sounds good, or this is how I know it's supposed to sound this way. So when I execute it, it needs to sound XYZ way. All right. So that's a great way to get that mobility and moving around, and it's a great push. So let's look at the third and final way that you can play this around the kit. So the third and final way to do it is to put your right hand and your kick drum together and your left hand playing the other rhythms on the snare drum by itself. So this is going to be really, really tricky. One way is going to be very, very easy to play it because that's how we traditionally play. But when you flip it back the other way and lead with the left hand, you're going to find that it's difficult. Let me demonstrate for you right quick. Right, so, and y'all know, of course, you can play it the other way too. So the other way, y'all already know how it would go. It would go like this. Right, of course, you know, but the other tricky way to do it, and I haven't even mastered it this way yet, is to switch it and do the kick drum with your left hand. And like I said, I'm still working on this because it's really, really hard. So typically your right hand is connected with your foot, like especially when you're playing stuff on the ride. right? When you're playing that type of stuff, that's normal. So it's easy to do your right hand with your right foot when you're doing this exercise. But the true push is to now program your left hand with your right foot, which, like I said, I'm still working on it, so I don't want to embarrass myself. I mean, I could try it, but like it's very difficult to do. And like I said, even somebody at my level of drums is still discovering different ways to do this, and it's very hard. So I know, like, any level, you can, intermediate, beginner, expert, whatever level that you're on, you can most definitely find a way to trip yourself up, and those are the ones you definitely need to practice. And me just being transparent and telling you guys that I couldn't even do that goes to show how crazy this exercise really is. And I have no shame in being able to say, like, I still got to work on it. I still got to practice it, because it is very, very hard. And when you go back to play the drums, when you go back to play a normal drum fill, a simple drum fill, when you go to play something that's kick incorporated, it feels so much easier and it feels so much cleaner on the kit, because you've been playing such a difficult exercise. Now I want to challenge y'all to think of different ways you can play it. I want you to stretch your creativity. I want you to do it with the right foot and the left foot. Then play the clave with your left foot and do the other one. Like, it's endless. Definitely don't give up. Don't quit. Y'all definitely keep practicing these exercises, because it can and will change your playing forever. But you got to reach down and push yourself. Do not remain complacent. Challenge yourself every day on the instrument. Keep challenging yourself and you will see improvement. I promise you that.
All right, y'all, that is going to conclude the end of this video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you like what you just learned, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more awesome videos. And if you like my teaching and you would like to work with me one-on-one, hit the link in the description below to find out how you can apply. I will see you guys next time. Be safe, stay creative, work hard. Zyck out. I will catch y'all. Peace.